we have a phenomenal #1 contender for the Universal title in the War Raiders meet the Viking Experience, meet the Viking Raiders. All that and more coming up next.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Oh man, I swear I don't know what's going on up in here, man. I got the throwback John Cena shirt, man. I took it out of the pack at WWEshop.com and I put it on, and all of a sudden I just started turning into a goat. I don't know what that is, man. Ain't none of my business. I got nothing to do with it.
On? You was like, I want to keep it.
It was so crazy. I was like, the throwback shirt must be. It must be true. He's the goat. Hey, but listen, I'm gonna start to my left, man. Listen, the man from the Windy City, the man with the chiseled jaw, the man with the perfectly coiffed hair, the Jim Alexander, RealTalker.com. What's up?
Hey, good intro. I love it, Mr. Goat. How can you breathe, though? I'm trying to figure out how you're breathing.
Mouth breathing, baby, mouth breathing.
That's commitment right there.
Next to him, it's my man, Flo Bito, the DJ extraordinaire, running for public office. We need all kinds of chocolate in the public office.
Appreciate that.
Flo Bito, what's up, boy?
Thanks so much. I'm so great. So glad to be next to the GOAT himself.
This is my girl to the left. That's my girl from the Great White North, man. TK Trinidad moving and shaking, about to be a big sister, helping out all this youth. You know what I mean? She's doing big things. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Oprah 2.0. You know what I mean? Black Dinosaur, Black Barbara Walters.
I gotta say, in all seriousness and truth, I have known Evan T. Mack for a year and a bit, and he has ceased to surprise me. But it's always love, and I understand him way more than I want to. But shout out to Barry Mack.
Well done.
Listen, y'all, we gonna get started. There's a raucous, interesting, very, very colorful Raw. Listen, girls, I don't even know. We gonna bounce around. You know how we do. We bounce around. We don't go in particular order. But I wanted to start right out the gate, y'all, with the Firefly Funhouse.
Yes.
The promo, the Mr. Rogers cut by my man Bray Wyatt, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He is returning. TK, I'm gonna start with you. What was your first thoughts?
Dylan Matthews in the chat says cocaine is a hell of a drug. Did anybody? I'm gonna remember that Bootsy Collins movie recently. Did anybody see that?
No.
Jim,
shout out to Bootsy Collins.
I'm gonna remember it, but they all turned into goats at the end of the movie. It recently came out. I'm gonna look for the name of it, but
they must have put on this hustler.
It was really good. However, I was actually fast forwarding through that because I thought it was like a Play School commercial until Jim's like, nah, this is, and then I didn't realize it was Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I thought it was somebody else. Like I was like faintly, and I was like, oh, that's Bray Wyatt. I was like, he kind of looks. I don't know if it's the TV. He kind of looked kind of blacker. Like some more color for some
TK, can't everybody be black, TK? We got all kinds of people, man.
I don't know.
We had a black president. Come on, man.
I don't know.
Not everybody can be black.
I understand, but he looked like he was very I don't know if it's the makeup or the TV. He just looked light skinned. I love the promo. I love the promo. I love that he's doing something different, even though I wanted him to do the stuff that he did before. I thought that was really good, but that time has passed.
Yep. Yeah.
And if he wants to excel, and they allowed him, he created the idea, or somebody else gave him the idea, he's rolling with it, and I think this is going to be a lead up to something great because he mastered. Anytime has some type of character, he masters it. So I'm looking forward to more.
Flobito.
A lot
Sorry
of questions.
to bother you. That movie. Have you seen that movie?
Yes.
There it is. Yeah.
But they were horses.
Thank you, Edwin.
She was in the ballpark. It was a farm animal.
Yeah. No, it was a half man, half goat or
I
something.
didn't know Bootsy Collins had a farm animal series. That's why I was like, I didn't know. Okay.
Flobito.
I had a lot of questions going into it. I was like, well, he was deleted and he came back, and then this is the next step for it. So I didn't know if it was going to be a serious gimmick or it was going to be a more serious or a more lighthearted kind of turn. But I love the fact that it had its own song. You had kids singing around with it.
Crazy.
I mean, if you think about it, most children's shows are creepy.
Yes, they are.
That's definitely amazing. Like Yo Gabba Gabba still gives you nightmares.
Yeah, you don't remember it when you see it as an adult. You're like, yo, this was scary, man. DJ Alexander, RealTalker.com.
Man, this is perfect. This is the man that's going to be a father soon. Okay, stepping into his daddy role and preparing things at home. Okay. This is genius. I mean, in so many ways, because you're capitalizing on the whole Mr. Rogers thing. There's a movie that's been out recently.
That's a good movie too.
Pee Wee Herman Field / Sesame Street / Mr. Rogers. It's timely now. Maybe like 5 years ago or so, it wouldn't be that timely. But now people get it because of Mr. Rogers and all that stuff. it's different. We've never seen this in wrestling. This is literally an original idea we've never seen, because we've seen some ideas rehashed or did differently. This is completely Bray Wyatt running loose, being even crazier than his previous character, I think. Because this is a borderline shade of like trying to play the straight man slash the good kind of mentor, and he's being crazy, at the same time. This is genius.
Yeah, I'm glad we're all in agreement, because we don't know what to expect. Are we thinking it's going to be kind of like the promo he cut, like the gear and everything, or do you think it's going to be like that all the way down like the aisles and stuff like that, or do you think it's going to be, because the whole Firefly thing was a big part of the
I kind of see that he's going to be doing promos for a while, like a few more weeks before we actually see him walk down.
He did say he did say next week though. He said next week.
It definitely has like a clown Prince of Crime vibe to it. Very kind of like, I love the chaos of it all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very,
we'll find out. That's what I do like about this, is that you can't guess it. Sometimes people do characters and it's just like, oh, okay, then this is going to happen and they're going to do this. And then this, you have no idea, which makes it even more interesting as a fan or as a semi-fan or somebody who's just kind of tuned in. Like, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I think he's going to play it as a face. And everyone's going to view him as a heel, because it's such a heel thing he's doing, but he's playing it as a face. He's acting as if he's a face, right? Because he's even making fun of like the old Bray Wyatt. That's the crazy guy. We're never bringing him back. So this is genius in a part, because he's psychotic in a real way, in that sense, in the character.
I like it. And speaking of that, can you cut a promo, Jim Alexander, let all these lovely people know how to get to us and find us and like us and comment us and talk trash?
I've been cutting promos since Bray Wyatt.
Spotlight, please.
Thank you to all you wonderful people out there commenting right now, part of the chat. Thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. And when you are watching this show, when the GOAT is running things, or anyone else, please subscribe. Continue to comment. Yes, and if you're driving, pull over, give us a 5-star rating, comment. Keep on interacting. We're listening. Some of us are reading this stuff, so love you all.
So we got...
Yeah, you need to watch your back, son.
Listen, Nancy Kerrigan all day. Tanya Harding coming. I'm gonna be like, why me? Why anybody? Listen, man, shout out to Nancy Kerrigan. That was deep. It was deep. I'm not making light of your situation. Trust me. I was a little kid. I was crying. That was deep, man. I was like, Mommy, what's happening?
Coming down with this one.
I was like, for real talk. I was like, Mommy, what's going on? She's like, listen, I don't know. We'll find out. But listen, we had 2 triple threat matches.
92 right there.
We had AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Rey Mysterio, and in a classic, instant classic, AJ Styles winning. Then we had the Baron Corbin versus Miz and Drew McIntyre, and Baron Corbin wins. First of all, Filipino, take me through these 2 matches. What say you? What did you think? What was the
first match had some SmackDown alums, and I gotta be honest with you, seeing the U.S. title on Samoa Joe's shoulder, instantly a classic. Automatically elevated, and he didn't go over the here. It's fine. I think he still has a lot of upside on Raw. I was not as jazzed on the other match, the Miz match. I don't think Miz has totally sold himself as a face, even after the Shane O'Mac feud. But the match itself was solid, and it came down to Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles in the main event, which, for what it was, because they tried to oversell the injuries that AJ sustained, was definitely an entertaining main event.
Jim,
they missed the beat. What they missed on was Baron Corbin should have gone over, because they're going to do the same thing.
At the end. Okay, we'll get to that, but keep going.
As far as this match itself, I mean, AJ had to make it to the finals, because you got to push the guy. He's one of the main faces now of SmackDown, as I was calling. Now he's back on Raw, so you got to make him look strong. We still could have had Corbin go over, but he had to win this first match at least to show something. But man, we're going to touch on this later. They are already messing a good thing here.
That's going to be very true. We'll get to that.
Baron Corbin totally over. I'm thinking this Kurt Angle thing is really working for him. This whole thing, they're using that Kurt Angle thing. Now I see how. I think it's going to be a shtick for a long time.
Working how though?
Just like Orton was getting over with the Legend Killer gimmick.
Don't you dare in your life. I'm gonna need you to go out, come back in.
Really?
Legend Killer gimmick.
Yeah, that's Baron Corbin's Kurt Angle gimmick. They're gonna run with that, and I like it.
You're killing me right now.
Baron Corbin's, he's working right now. He's making things.
I know what you're saying.
I didn't see it, but now I see it. I see how he acts with the crowd. His character is just...
He does own it, though.
He's just an annoying guy, but it works. It's working now, and I'm buying it.
I don't know if the crowd really thinks it. I don't think they really like him at all. Like, really don't like him.
I think they're so annoyed by him that they're giving him genuine heat.
Oh, you think it's turning into what they want it to turn into?
Yep.
I will say I disagree with you, but I did like the fact they announced all of his accolades tonight to make it at least sound like he's some person that wasn't a guy wearing a vest.
And the Kurt Angle thing, thing got the boo though, the biggest boo. That still pisses people off.
Yeah, but I think the audience doesn't really care for him.
That's what I think. I don't think they care
they
yet.
didn't, but now they are. 'Cause he's working to work in a sense where he's. They were annoyed by what he's been kind of given this pedestal, sort of like Roman Reigns when he was, initially a few years back winning everything, Rumbles and all that. Now it's the same thing with Corbin, but now it's getting genuine heat because he's adding the accolades now with his introduction. He's reinforcing the Kurt Angle thing. He's coming up to his competitors saying, well, I beat an Olympic man. He's just buying more heat where the annoyance turns to actual hatred from the crowd and real heat.
I don't know. I don't know if they succeed in that.
We're like split-ish on this.
Look, the thing about Baron Corbin, which maybe I'm biased, 'cause I was not a fan of him for the entire of his WWE run. So maybe it's come from a place of hate. But here's a guy.
Strong. Careful, Vito.
He has his size and speed or whatever, but he's never the fastest, never the strongest. His music never matches attire. His moveset never matches way on the mic. He's average, and he's like picking Mario Kart straight down the line. Does that make it good?
Did you just compare him to Mario?
In Mario Kart, he's the most average player.
You want to talk about the GOAT?
He's the most average player. I'm just letting you know. Hashtag Team Yoshi. So Team Luigi.
So you're just basing it based on the Mario Kart game.
Yeah,
right.
Mario Kart.
Hey,
I'm just saying, this is a guy that doesn't have the tools that we think that's a superstar.
You know why? He's not. Who would you rather be right now? Shinsuke or Rusev or Baron Corbin? Who's on there every week? He's almost in a main event scene. He is being featured every week on Raw as one of the main guys in a sense. He's having a lot of different angles where he had the Kurt Angle thing, but now he's still relevant. He was with the faction with Drew McIntyre and Lashley. He is relevant, and that's what matters.
I don't know about relevant. I think they're trying to...
They're pushing him, though.
I think that somebody in the back office likes him, and they're pushing him on us because I do think he might be a great person and a great wrestler, but this whole thing has made him average. When he's the lone whiff, he was average. And then even this thing, he couldn't even become a GM. He was still
but that's all working in his favor now.
But I know what you're saying. I just don't know. I don't know if it is yet.
But what they say is it's WWE superstar, right? And it's a superstar that carries over whether they're a heel or not. Yeah. And everybody else who's average, they just fall behind. They're the ones who don't really have T-shirts. They're the ones who could care less about them, except for Roman Reigns, which is a whole nother, thing. But I think with him, it's just like somebody in the back office likes him and they're pushing him because when I see the audience, they're like.
They're gonna push him on the audience to a point the audience is gonna start caring about him and hating him.
But I hope you're right because that's a lot of TV.
They're forcing him down to the audience, and the audience is starting to finally take it.
Yeah, but look at Roman Reigns. They didn't like Roman Reigns.
It was different. Right. It was different because he was a face, and this guy's a heel. It's a different sort of thing.
We're gonna see. Time will tell if you're right about that, Jim. Just want to get a quick point of reference. You guys, yes or no? Did you like the Sami Zayn addressing the WWE Universe thing? How'd you like? Did you like it? Yes, no.
Absolutely a waste of time. Yeah. Sami Zayn comes back from injury. The fans want to cheer for him, right? Yep. At least give us that for a month and then turn. But no, he comes out and says heel stuff 101. You guys are bad. I am good. You guys can go to hell. It's like, what is the idea? Am I supposed to hate this guy now?
Yeah.
No, I went from liking him to being off my TV screen. I'd rather watch Baron Corbin. So that's a problem.
Damn. TK, what's
I feel the same way. I feel like maybe he is trying something new, but we look at Bray Wyatt and what he did.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
Which is crazy.
Right.
And then we're looking at, and obviously Sami can't do the same thing, but if you're going to come back off of an injury, it feels like you should either change yourself totally or go with what you left off with. It was working for you when you left off. Mm-hmm. It just feels like he's trying something new and it's not working.
He's trying. And here's the thing, he's doing kind of what Corbin, they're doing for Corbin, he's just doing it on his own. Yeah. He's working the work, right?
Yeah.
So in the problem here is that logically what he's saying, it's starting to not make sense because it's just becoming like literally he's talking in reverse, because he hates Montreal, but I hate you people, but I love the city, and then he wears a Montreal shirt tonight and he's taking little cheap digs at the crowd, but then yet he's like, I hate being in wrestling, if I hate here, I love traveling, then why are you in the ring? It's like, explain to us then as an audience, if you hate being back, if you rather be injured, why are you back then? Why don't you just stay injured or never show up?
You gotta say something,
because it just doesn't make sense in that way. It's like you can keep on not showing up.
Yeah, you have to explain it. You'd be like, because I was contractually obligated to be here. All you gotta do is say something like that.
He could have said something, but he's not adding these big points to his point, and it makes it look flat and dumb in a sense where where's this going? Because you're just like, it's verbal vomit,
Interesting.
you know, without any strong things to back it up.
Yeah, this is where you would throw in management and say, you know, they're forcing me to be here, and I really don't like you people. I don't like anybody in the locker room. In fact, they're total a-hole. Like, you could go all in because now you're forced to be back. But if you're, I had another agreeing with Jim. This is weird.
I know, man. Dark days, man.
It's like go to facts.
I know.
Oh, don't see the rubbing off, man.
Yeah,
Listen, man.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. It makes sense.
Yeah, so Naomi defeated Billie Kay today.
Yes, Naomi with the handle.
I was like,
yeah,
shout out to you. That's hey, man, that's always a good thing. She's on TV. This move has helped. They're putting her on. Speaking of chocolate, they Cesaro versus Cedric Alexander and a classic. Hold on, Flo. See, this is the problem. This is why we can't progress as a people. This is why we can't progress. You about to poo-poo one of the matches of the night.
I'm not poo-pooing the match at night. All I'm saying is you had Alicia Fox, Cedric Alexander, and Ricochet all lose tonight. BMP is starting, bruh. It's starting, bruh.
I didn't even look at it like that.
Naomi won. I was like, cool, but it was all out after that.
Right.
Where's Lashley?
Yeah, where is Lashley?
You
see, go? You see?
As soon as I was going to not mention the BMP.
I'm telling
You
you,
see how they fooled me?
Yeah.
I was happy they was on TV. See how they get you?
Yeah, so they get you.
I was so excited.
Crumbs, bruh.
If you want a BMP shirt, go to ProWrestlingTees.com.
Yo, shout out to your girl, man. Shout out to my pops, man. Shout out to everybody that buys one. But listen, so wait a minute. You threw me. You kind of caught me off guard right there. I didn't even. That's true, Lord.
Yeah, man. I was like,
it was a good match.
They were all good matches, but it was like, dang, man. If you're a brown kid watching wrestling, who do you invest in? Naomi's hair? That's what you got.
I'm
just saying.
Going over.
Flo ate his Wheaties tonight, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, if you've been following often enough, like Naomi hadn't been getting TV time, and now she is. So hopefully they're creating something for her. Hopefully. And then with Cedric, it just feels like. By the way, if you didn't watch Women's Wrestling Weekly, we had his wife on.
Oh, she had
some gold stuff to say. So definitely, that was last week's show of Women's Wrestling Weekly. Ariel Monroe, she was on the show.
She's dope.
I feel like with him, he being on 205 Live, it feels, I don't know. I didn't think he was going to win.
Here's the problem with what they did tonight. I would give it just maybe a 1 week write-off, in a sense, because they were facing guys they're new either to the brand that switched over, or guys they're trying to push. So they were facing people off against either newbies versus newbies, or guys they're trying to push versus people they're trying to push. So someone's got to lose, right? In that instance. So if they change it up next week, they don't continue these feuds, you can start off fresh and back to normal in a sense. You know, because we know Ricochet's over. Like, he's been over since he really came over. I don't see why they would bury him now. For any reason.
Well, anything's possible.
But I'm glad you said that, though, because what made it very interesting is the new and improved Robert Roode.
Oh, yes.
This is interesting.
Yes.
When wifey was doing this goat makeup, I was sitting there listening to this match, and I go, "You better put this dude over if they're gonna do this Robert Roode thing." And I didn't think in a million years Ricochet was gonna lose this match. But the fact that he lost because you say this is how I am. I dropped this dead weight. Then he has to win.
Yes.
He has to win.
Hey, Jack Gable.
Yeah, so, I know you were throwing confetti around.
Didn't work though.
You were throwing all your campaign confetti. You were wasting it before you won. But no, listen. So and he defeats him, and it was a good match, and I was surprised. What did you guys think about the result? What do you think about the new mustache?
Absolutely,
he's channeling my guy, Ravishing Rick Rude. He's challenging my guy. So
Ravishing Rick Rude, Val Venus, all this. This could be
Mr.
Adult Star Robert Roode. Okay, this is a potential gimmick there. Yeah. There's a I'm not even joking. Mr. whatever you want to call him, adult filmmaker man, or he's got a completely old school gimmick, right? And that's been done over, but it's fresh because it's new because we haven't seen it in years.
Seen it in a while, yeah.
So this gave him that mustache gave him immediate credibility, man. It was over right away. And that's what you knew. You just had a different feel about Robert Roode. When you watch it, you just knew when he came out to the ring with that mustache, you saw that little promo, you just felt good about him, right? For once.
Even the I want to say house coat. The robe that he was wearing was different.
Yeah.
Like it was just like the whole vibe.
I like it.
Yeah, I would love to know. Like, I wish they would do it. Maybe it is on the network. Let me know. I would love to know how some of them come up with the gimmicks. Like, was he off for a few weeks and then he just let it grow out and then he was combing it one day? He's like,
you know what?
Oh, he had the full beard. He had the full beard with Chad Gable, and then he just probably shaved that part off.
I didn't even notice the beard.
No one knows the tag team. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, backstage.
You said nobody
thing,
knows
right?
No,
how.
he did.
Sorry,
Listen, we're all in favor of Robert Roode.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't think this is gonna damage Ricochet stock too much.
No.
And I think it showed the crowd. Wait a minute, he just beat Ricochet. Ricochet does not lose here too often. He lost at WrestleMania, the tag team match, but he doesn't lose.
They need to figure out with Ricochet because he's in no man's land right now with
He is.
Alistair moving back, whatever they're doing with him.
I knew they were going solo.
Yeah,
though.
so they're breaking them up, and now maybe they're buying some time for Ricochet to find him a feud
Are you
or find him a
surprised, though?
direction.
It was bound because they're solo guys. This run was nice, and it was a good way to introduce them. But I like that they are separate. But you're right, though. Now, where's this leave Ricochet? Which title are we talking about here? He's definitely going to be in the Money in the Bank match.
I
For
don't
sure.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to, but the thing is, they were putting him over when he was affiliated with NXT, and then when he came over and he's officially on Raw, it's like now he's like everybody else. So I would love to see him because he has the talent, he has the look, he has everything. But we have already seen what WWE does with people who have the talent and have the look and should get that opportunity, and they don't. So I hope he does, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't happen.
I know they like him a lot. I know Ricochet's incredible, man.
Definitely.
He's gonna do a lot. He's gonna be stealing the show at the Money in the Bank. My only concern with anybody of his talent and his style is his injury. That's the only thing that can stop Ricochet.
Yeah.
The only thing that can stop Ricochet is just some stupid nick or something like that. Because he's such a high flyer. He's so high risk. He's careful, but you know what I mean. All it takes. You see how set towards ACL. It was nothing.
Yeah.
It was nothing.
It's eventually one bad move, even for someone that's
That's
skilled.
the
You
only
put
thing.
yourself at risk every time you do these backflips and these crazy moves.
Even today, he looked like when he landed.
Yeah, see,
I
he
was
always
like,
makes me
That was
nervous.
kind of off.
That's my only thing. I think that's the only thing that can stop his momentum because they love this guy.
And here's another thing: are you going to put him in with big guys? Because if you're
He's strong.
putting him in, he is, but he's.
Have you watched Lucha?
Here's the thing: if you put him with these big guys,
Like who?
he might
Give me
take
an
a bigger
example.
An Elias, a guy like that.
Like powerhouse guys.
Yeah, like a powerhouse guy. Rude, not quite. He's not there.
Like
I think
Baron
he can
Corbin,
still. Baron Corbin, like the bigger guys, like
Braun
a
Strowman,
McIntyre.
Braun Strowman,
Oh,
back
McIntyre,
guy.
no.
Yeah.
But McIntyre, Lashley, like these bigger guys that can kind of. They have a lot of power where they can toss him around literally in a
Right.
sense where he would take more punishment because they're just more brawlers. He needs to work with guys who are more finesse,
I don't
like
agree
Finn
with that.
Balor. Those are the kind of guys he needs to work
But that's what I think could hurt him. I think if he goes against these big guys and shows out, he's a strong dude, man.
no doubt about
He's
it.
a strong dude, but if he goes against the big guys, I think that's what's going to put him over. Like if
That's
you go
what I
back to
think.
Lucha Underground and when he went against Mil Mortez, which is a huge
That's
guy.
That's a grown adult.
And you saw them going against each other, and you didn't. And he had the max on. It was just like it was believable that he could win. So I mean, and again, let's we're all adults here. We know that they have to work with each other. So
Yes.
they're both gonna make each other look good. So I think that would be the best bet. If he continues going against guys who are his size, and that's not gonna put him.
I don't think so. Unless
It's just a wear and tear. There's more wear and tear with a bigger guy.
That's what I'm worried.
Yeah, that's what it is. But
I'm worried about all of that. Like,
But I
he's
mean,
still young, though.
Gail Kim is back in the ring.
Yeah.
And she was. I mean, Impact, please. I know we're.
But with all due
please be on
respect to
TV.
Gail Kim, she don't do what Ricochet does, though.
Yeah, but
He's
she's
high
had a major
tempo.
injury and she was retired, and I think she's back in the ring competing against Tess Blanchard.
But he's high. He's high tempo. He's high energy. He's high impact. He's 100,000 miles an hour, man. That just concerns me against the bigger guys
Yeah.
because we can talk about wrestling all you want, but you still got to hit those big dudes, man.
Yeah, but what a lot of wrestlers have said is that no matter what, you start with a certain amount. Every wrestler has a certain amount of bumps. So Ricochet
true.
might have 100 bumps
He
or
might.
150 bumps in him.
Right.
So no matter what he does
You're
against
right.
small or big, like once it hits 150, it's 150.
You're right. I
So
know what you're saying about that.
don't know.
Just like I said, you can milk and let it.
But this was
marinate.
all.
Yeah.
This was more about Robert Roode than
Absolutely.
Ricochet tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
And Ricochet doesn't look bad in
No.
a sense.
No.
Robert Roode looks great, and that's what matters.
That's basically what I was saying.
the
With that
mustache.
being said, man, the sweet smells of Charlie Caruso's perfume must mean only one thing. If the DJ ready, I don't know, maybe. Hey, John Cena.
I hit a microphone. I mean, whatever.
Get it, Jim.
Come get your boy. Come get your boy.
Chisel jaw, man.
What is he doing?
He's unleashed.
What? He's
I got-
off beat. What is he doing? Come on, go.
What Wow.
I had to show.
Jim with the hip swivel.
I had to show Kevin Owens how it's done, right? That's how you get into.
He needed
That's
pointers.
right.
You're-
TK Trinidad, what say you? Who's in the boudoir? Before they take us off
We were
the
just
air.
talking about it. Robert Roode, definitely for sure with the porn star mustache.
Respect.
Bray Wyatt with the new look, definitely for that.
Because
Alicia Fox.
TK thought he was black, so
I thought, yeah.
he definitely in the boudoir.
For real. Alicia Fox with the new hairstyle. That's why I said for y'all, before we started the show, I was educating Jim on black women, how we change our hair all the time.
You missed that in
And
the
if he wants to
premium
date a
episode.
black woman, he needs to get a bonnet and a silk pillowcase. And you don't know about none of that,
That's
then you need
nuance.
to,
That's a
you
nuance
need to make
stuff.
yourself a black
That's
woman.
the after show.
Yeah, it's after show. But Alicia Fox with the new hairstyle was kind of like a platinum pink or something like that. Phenomenal, love that. And then of course Trinity with the new hair. We were talking about that last week, so she changed it up, and I'm feeling it with the color. And then shout out to Barry Mack.
Robert Roode, the mustache look.
It's not your boudoir,
He
player.
was
the first
He was the first person.
Oh, I was dancing.
You was gyrating.
I was
gyrating.
Okay, this is important. And shout out to all my girls on SmackDown because they're not on Raw anymore. So
Oh, Mandy Rose reference.
Mandy Rose, Liv Morgan,
or Liv Tyler.
Yes, both of them.
The boudoir has been brought to you by Center Inn. If you want to get some candles, cocoa butter,
sponsor.
any body scrubs, go to Instagram, centerincandles.com to check that all
Get
out
some
for
of that
y'all.
cocoa butter.
saying.
So one of the highlights of the night to me was incredible to me. The Usos cutting the promo, and that to me is the best promo I've ever seen them guys cut, like ever. And
Ever?
To me, they were so smooth
Yep.
and seamless and on point. It was just so crisp. It's like they knew they were going to the flagship, and they were like, let's just go all out.
Yeah.
And then they even mentioned the drinking and driving thing. They mentioned the DUI,
Yeah.
and he looked at his brother, and the crowd was like, and he was like, we ain't gonna talk about that. And they got a moved on. It was incredible.
But they did that too when
love that.
them and the New Day had that wrap up, and they brought up the
The
porn
page
tape. Like
thing,
I
yeah.
love
With Xavier Woods.
it's
like
on
Xavier
social
Woods.
media. We all know what's going
I
down.
like that, though.
Like you have to.
Don't hide.
You don't have to like put it all out there, but you have to acknowledge that. Like that's what happened.
Yeah, and don't hide. You don't have to
Yeah.
hide. Just meet it head on. I like the promo. I like that the revival came out. Everyone's expecting them to leave. Everyone's saying they're going, but the revival came out. I think it's going to be an amazing feud. I don't know what they're going to do with this because none of them had the belts, but I don't think you need to have the belts to have a great match.
Sure.
What do you guys think about just that highlight, that promo, and then this potential matchup?
Yeah, I gotta give it to the Usos, man. They did it the right way. This was a team that was basically banished to SmackDown as far as like, here's your division, make it happen.
It's so true.
And year after year, these matches after matches infused, even with the New Day, props to them too.
Seriously.
They became a force you cannot deny, right? So if you're playing general manager at home and you didn't have Usos on your team, you were missing out. So
Right.
here's a chance to them on Raw, the grand stage, the A show, if you call it.
Not anymore.
It
We
is-
can talk about
but
this
it-
later.
it is.
As a brand, it still
As a brand,
is.
it's still the
It
A
still
show. I know
is.
what you're
It's
saying.
moving
I know
away
what you're saying.
really quick.
But the fact they worked with the Revival on their second night and saying, hey, look, here's the potential matchup, just props to them.
And I also like before one of you guys go, I like that the Revival said, you're the greatest tag team in SmackDown history.
Yeah.
They did not have to say that. That was calculated because the Revival were amazing. Dash and Dawson are students of the game. They're old school, but that was unbelievable when they said that. That was real talk.
Yeah.
I almost think the Usos didn't even know they were going to say that. They're like, you're probably you're the greatest tag team in SmackDown history.
The chat is ignoring everything that we're saying because they're literally throwing up in their mouth.
They
with
still
Jim's
hate on Jim's
dancing.
twerking, man.
Ghost 83, 86
Don't-
is literally throwing up in his mouth.
Listen, don't hate what you can do.
Ghost is hating, man.
Don't hate what you can
But
do.
with the
do
Usos
you
though,
think?
that was definitely calculated. Again, if you watch Fit Club from December 2017,
I seen that.
Naomi and her husband were on the show and they talked about how they lost weight. He lost like 40 pounds at that time, and they lost some
That's
more.
Samoan thickness right
and then
there.
they changed their whole gimmick because I think he said that they were doing the same thing for almost 10 years.
Wow.
For probably a little bit less than that, and they decided to change it to what they do every day. So I mean, that was totally what you see now is totally they didn't have to lose the weight.
Yeah.
That's true.
Commitment.
That's true. It was commitment and changing their craft and being masters of their craft.
Yeah.
With that
They're
being
going to be over on Raw because
They can rebel.
they have no tag. Look, they broke up 3 tag teams in the past week. Rude and Gable are gone.
they weren't really
Cesaro
tag
and
team.
Sheamus. And then Ricochet and Alistair. That counts because these were all
But all three
relevant.
of them were all makeshift tag teams.
Yeah.
These guys have been tag teams since birth. They came out the womb
Exactly.
as a tag team.
But that's what I mean.
Hot tag.
They need to
like real talk.
They need to focus on them and keep this tag team
I
division
agree.
alive.
I agree 100%.
Because who else is there to compete? I mean, Revival, if they're still on the
Trust
roster.
Me, you know who it is. It's
I'm not even. They're not.
It's the Viking Raiders. And speaking of the Viking Raiders, listen, man, I love you, all you people out there, man, all you fanboys and fangirls and all you nerds out there. Yeah, I called y'all nerds because there's a different level of
Throw
nerds.
it up in your mouth.
But no, there's different level of nerds.
You can't dance.
And these are there's different. Listen, I like the hip swivel, but listen, there's different level of nerds, and these are the nerds I don't like. They want it and they complain about the name, and they always act like WWE doesn't listen. They heard their beck and call. In less than 7 days, they changed the name from the Viking Experience to the Viking Raiders, and Michael Cole and them act like that was the name for 20 years.
Yeah, props to them. Props to them.
The Viking Raiders. I was like, what? What did they just say? So they came out, beat the brakes off the Lucha House Party, which they should just retire because they ain't never gonna win a match in the history of wrestling ever again. They ain't never gonna win a match ever.
That's a whole nother story.
It wasn't even a match.
Whole different kettle of crawdads right there. But listen, Flo Bito, what say you about the Viking Raiders, who I love? Love this tag team. What say you?
So last week we clowned the name. We thought it was like a weird.
What'd you say? What'd you say? It was amazing.
It's not named for like a cruise.
There you go. That sounds like an amazing Norwegian cruise.
Yeah, exactly. The Viking cruise.
Like a Viking experience where you get the Nordic experience.
Yeah, exactly. So I was what's going to be next week? The war experience.
I think they've settled.
Okay, but the thing with the Viking Raiders is that you still have the Raiders part of it. It sounds hard. It's guttural, so it makes it sound like they're a hardened team.
Yes.
I would like to have them hands in a row again, but it's not going to happen.
Ever.
But the idea of them not having something so long and ungainly, I'm rocking with it.
Yeah, the new name, Ivan and Draga or whatever they're
called.
Ivar. Well, same thing. I mean, that experience still trying to settle in with me because here's a fact. They should be on NXT.
Wait a minute.
They should be on NXT.
Wait a minute.
I have nothing to talk about at NXT anymore, and I'm tired of this, okay? You keep on taking
Johnny Gargano, you can talk about him, baby.
I will not talk about him.
These
guys, I mean, they were so good.
They are still good. Why you act like they did?
They are, but they're already messing things up. They're
they
already
were
messing up names. They're already messing up. This should have been a promo type of thing built for them to come over.
Right,
like you should have built them for a while. Like they are coming, and here are the vignettes and all these things, and then they come in, they mess up the name, they change their names, and now they're winning, but still that whole. I guess the experience of them is tarnished because it was just so abrupt and surprising because we still see him. Those of you who watch NXT, they're still the NXT Tag Team Champion. Like, it's just a messy situation of them being brought over.
You're not wrong at all, but the thing is, how they can save it is them putting on classic matches with great tag teams. Mm-hmm. Having a great rivalry with the Usos.
It could be saved still.
Yeah, but they have to put on classics, though.
They do. WWE put pressure on them by
way more than they should have.
Butchering their arrival.
But also, like I said, we know, guys, we got to think I know it pains people to do this, but from a marketing perspective, they don't want the crowd chanting war. It's about sponsorship. You can do it in NXT. There was only one reason why they changed that name, guys. They changed the name because of the word war. Because that's the chant they get. When they come out, it's war, 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 war. It works on NXT. But when you get with the Snickers and all these huge, childlike, like Cricket Wireless and all this stuff, like, because trust me, they listen, people don't understand nothing because people don't understand this because they're not used to walking out and getting free money because that's what sponsorship is. Sponsorship is free money. It's a free check to put a bumper sticker up on a poster.
And don't forget, Mrs. McMahon is in the White House.
Listen. So like all that people like what before you get outraged, understand this is about money. Now everybody that's hating, if you walked out the door right now, someone hands you a check for $50,000, would you say no? What's this for? Oh, just wear my shirt.
Right.
That's what sponsorship really is. So it was the war chant, man. That war chant, and I love that name. Yeah. But the second I heard them change it, I was like, I know what this is about.
Oh, absolutely.
It's about the dollar bill, y'all.
It used to be called Raw is War for the same exact reason.
See, Raw is War.
But I mean, someone sat and was like, Viking experience. Good idea, Jim.
Yeah,
and that was the idea.
You're like, you know what?
I did pitch that idea.
Exactly.
And you're right. It sounds like an amazing cruise.
It does, man.
Book your 3-day, 4-night.
You want
take on the goat.
Companies need people who are for them, not companies that buy their followers and then have 2 people following them, and then when somebody's going in on them and for them, they don't want to give them a T-shirt at least. Uptown.
Shut up.
Shout out
to water from the
shout out. Uptown, bro. Uptown. I love y'all so much. Oh my goodness. Listen, don't think I forgot. I didn't forget about Alicia Fox getting a fair shake First time I seen her stretch those long, she was in the boudoir. But let's talk about.
I want that check though. She works like,
no, it's called steady work. That's what I call it, steady work. Like she's that character in that movie that you don't know the name, but she's always in it. She's steady work. She's James Hong from you know what I mean, but the Asian guy from Big Trouble in Little China. And every time you see an Asian guy in an American music, it's James Hong. I'm telling you, he's called steady work. That's who Alicia Fox is. She is consistent. She keeps her mouth shut. She collects that check. She living her best life down in Tampa, and she got a nice match against Becky Lynch.
Too, yeah.
And she always looks amazing. She always keeps herself in shape. She does not make waves. She don't talk about going to AEW. She got a good match tonight on Raw.
Although last year, if you remember, right before WrestleMania, there was something between Ronda Rousey and her husband and Alicia.
And that's because Alicia, you're drawn to her. You're drawn to everything about her. You're charismatic. And Ronda Rousey's probably threatened, man. That, you know what I mean?
Can we talk about how Becky's momentum has dipped significantly and how Lacey Evans
Becky two belts, please stop calling her that.
Stop. Absolutely.
Didn't I say this? So all of you out there, he's not talking.
Chat's about to go crazy.
I kept on saying it. What happens after WrestleMania? This is what's happening. She's got 2 belts, and her biggest thing is now Becky 2 belts, and that's the only that's keeping her over. Honestly, Lacey Evans is holding her up at this point. Because Lacey Evans is more interesting at this point, because we haven't seen much about her, and she needs more than just a punch, right? We'll get to that, and she's capable of it. But Becky Lynch, her momentum has absolutely extinguished, and her with those 2 belts, she in a sense, I mean, not her, but they sabotaged the SmackDown women's division by giving her 2 belts, and it's not paying off. Because those 2 belts are just a gimmick right now. It's a chant and a sign. And she's not over as Becky Lynch.
What do you say about that, TK?
That's Ronda.
Do you think that if Ronda was still there, the gimmick would be surviving?
They'd be more relevant. She'd be more relevant, for sure.
If Ronda had the belts, would you think
I think Ronda is still there because Ronda lost the belts and now
they let her get pinned too.
Technically, she's supposed to be challenging for them, and now she's off getting pregnant. I think I saw her in a cast today. Her arm was in a cast, so I get it. But
the broke hand.
Yeah, if this was the game plan, then they should have there should have been some type of replacement. Like, okay, Ronda's leaving because whether you liked her or not, as far as if she's a good wrestler or not, it provided a storyline and it drew eyes to that. Now she's gone. Charlotte's, you know what I'm saying?
Didn't I say that Becky isn't the star that we all think? I said,
Flobo,
here's the Becky Lynch has the talent, and she's every bit the star she is. However, the situation is you cut off the women's division on 2 different divisions at once to give her both belts, and now what you've shown us over 2 weeks is her coming out saying, "I'm the man." That's great. But who are you going to challenge?
Same promo, same thing every week.
Let me ask you a question. Since my wife is the real goat of this relationship.
There you go.
I've been wanting to ask you this for a while. I keep forgetting to ask you this. I'm going to ask all you this. Heidi feels like, and this is interesting, does that word, the man, take away that she is a woman?
Is it man part of woman?
No. She calls herself the man.
She
calls herself the man, right? And she keeps saying she's the man.
Right.
Now, does that mess up like any way possible the women's movement by her not keep emphasizing that she's a woman?
It's just like the HNIC. It's just like HNIC, you know.
Well, that's a different story.
Well, I mean,
I know what she's talking about, but she keeps calling herself the man.
I don't think that changes
for a while.
Wait, what does Heidi feel?
She feels that's taking away from women.
Sure.
I agree.
By her not keep repping. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do.
We get what she's saying. I get it.
I'm the woman. That would be over as much as the man.
Crazy.
And it would show it more like empowering to the rest of the roster.
I know it doesn't have the same ring to it.
I'm the woman. Because if we're in a revolution, all these women matter, right?
That's all
so I'm saying, if like you're the best of them, I'm the woman. It's like, okay, you're the best of all of these women in the revolution. It says more. The man, it's just, I'm thinking Ric Flair right there, cheap gimmick. The man, it just doesn't add, it sounds weird when she's
like I said, I get what people in the chat, because they always, for some reason,
and shout out to Mrs. Mack,
when I speak perfect English, it's crazy because I speak perfect English. Like I'm saying, it's called asking a question, guys. I'm posing a question to the panel. I don't care if she calls herself this. I'm just asking. Does it take away from her being a woman? That's all I'm asking. Everybody in the chat acting like I'm poo-pooing everything Becky Lynch. I'm just saying, you're calling yourself the man when you are an amazing woman. That's all I'm asking.
Exactly. And you're taking away from the I think it's taking away more from the women's roster in a sense.
That's
the
all,
rest of the women.
Jim's with me on it. He knows what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I get what it's about. I get it, guys.
Right.
I get it, man. I've been watching wrestling since I could crawl. Like, I get the shtick. But I'm just saying, does it kind of take away?
No,
what do you think about TK?
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
It's interesting, right? It's interesting,
when you
right?
do say that, now I could see women's shirts in pink saying the woman, like almost like the Beyonce flawless shirts, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I could see all that. Like, I could see how that could be a great takeaway and using that versus the man. But I also see the man working because you're essentially saying, not only am I better than all the women in the locker room, I'm better than all the men in the locker room too. No matter what.
She needs to say that then.
She's never said it.
She needs
just
to say
says on
that.
the shirt.
What you just said right there, TK, if she said that, she would shut it all down.
Right.
Anissa said she's offended.
Right.
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying. I know this ain't crazy because it's just a question. It's just a question.
Well, I mean, you raise a good point. The fact that here's someone with both of the belts, and we're now debating whether or not her gimmick is undermining her legacy says a lot, right?
That's all. That's fair, right?
Now, going into this panel, I would say no, it didn't, because the man is a euphemistic phrase to be someone on top. But now discussing it, that does raise a good question.
Right.
If you are the best in what you do, does that matter to call yourself the man or the woman? Should it matter?
Well, that's what she's over with. She's over with the man, with the gimmick wise, and with Becky Two Belts. When you take those two away, what is she then? Becky Lynch? Is that over? Is she a star then? Is she a mega star then? Or is it her gimmicks, her T-shirts, the people chanting the man, Becky Two Belts is getting her over to that
out of the
level?
locker room, minus Ronda, who would you consider a mega star?
Besides Mandy Rose.
For the women.
Charlotte
Charlotte
for sure. And I would go with... My girl, man. No, the Iconics, I think they're stars already, and they're so young and new in a sense. But you see the star potential. I mean, they're already...
Oh, and correction, Lisa's not offended. That's cool. Like I said,
Okay.
she's not offended. And correct, I read it wrong. But like that's just a question being posed, y'all.
I just think...
I don't give a
what's
damn what
the
she
difference
does.
between Bayley and Becky Lynch? Really?
Maybe
Becky gets
Bayley and Becky Lynch.
better mic skills for Becky because Bayley can. But what's the difference? Sasha Banks and Bayley. What's the difference? I know how you feel, Mac, about the botches and stuff.
I don't think there's
But
a
what is the difference? Like, what makes her a star? Because I can tell you what makes Charlotte a star.
I think Sasha Banks was on her way and was a star until when she had the belt, and they essentially what they do to a lot of folks is like, okay, well, you're no longer have the belt, and she rolled back down to the bottom of the hill, and then there was nothing for her to push.
But that's what I mean. That's why Becky's over with the man, is over with Becky Two Belts. What makes her so much better? The star. Like when I look at Becky, it's like this is a star. When I look at Charlotte, like this is a star. Not only the Ric Flair legacy thing, the way she carries herself, she has a persona, a presence.
Yeah.
You know when the aura of a star, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's different. You just see it.
We're gonna
right?
think Natalya is a star?
We're gonna pick that
No,
up. We're gonna pick it up
she's
next
a-
week, y'all.
yeah.
That's a lot of stuff. I'm not exactly this.
Put it in the tweets.
Yeah, y'all talk. We continue the conversation,
Bosa
man.
and Wong hit us up and start the chat.
AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin in the main event,
Yep.
of course. AJ Styles wins this. I want to get back to what you're saying, but we don't have too much time. But I do want to get to you, Jim, and talk about what you're thinking about and why you did not like AJ winning the match.
It's the same thing what they did with Daniel Bryan. They rushed it, and then what?
Mm-hmm.
Then what? They gave us Daniel Bryan versus AJ right away. It's like they can't wait to hold anything off and build something. This could be a great SummerSlam feud for a big pay-per-view. You save this, you build on this, you promote. You don't give this away at Money in the Bank. You're gonna give me AJ Styles the most prime matchup. You can even save it next year to WrestleMania if you want to do that. These are the two top guys on this roster, and you're throwing them the first chance you get, the first opportunity you get, you give it to us. And now what? Now it's just only downhill from there. Because Seth Rollins cannot face someone as good or top star level as AJ Styles. This was the face of SmackDown versus the face of Raw. We're getting it at Money in the Bank right away. Completely wasted opportunity.
Quick thoughts.
You think it's going to end clean? I don't think so. I think you have the wrestling-based matches to show Raw's a new direction, get them together, and have a schmaz ending to open up an actual feud, make it more personal.
I'll just ditto that. Shout out to Barry Mack and Mrs. Mack.
Yo, we gonna wrap it up,
Yes.
man. She's so crazy, yo. Jim, put yourself over, please.
Hey, at the Jim Alexander, real talker. That's REL. I'm not a heel. I just speak the truth.
Damn. Flobito.
I'm at Twitter at FloboBoys, on Instagram at Flobito, Flobito.com, and make sure you use the hashtag Boys in the Hood.
Mayor. Mayor.
June 2nd, go
Boys
out
in
and
the
vote.
hood, baby.
What's up? You can follow me
TK.
on everything at TK Trinidad. Catch me on VH1 and Rap TV. I'm gonna you're writing for them as well. And if you want candles, body scrubs, and cocoa butter, go to Center In Candles on IG, and I'll hook you up.
Man, shout out to Cocoa Butter, man. Evan T. Mac Instagram and Twitter, man. Listen, man, shout out to Cena, man. Love John Cena. John Cena, I love you so much.
Shout out to Barry Mac.
Yo, Pop, yo, we'll see y'all next week, man.
Dope man.
Ciao.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only, do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.